Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Local Talent Showcase. My name is Tony Frontino. I am the host and producer of this show. Now, this show wants to bring you good news, entertainment, and also maybe a different view of the network news. And one of the things that I've heard many times, how bad our schools are, and that our students are not learning anything. And I thought about that. Well, I go to St. Philomene's Catholic Church on Bell in El Camino. And I was elected to the parish council, and I got to meet the principal of our school, Michele Hamilton. Hi. Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
It was so nice of you to volunteer to come on. You did volunteer.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you. It's a great opportunity.
Tell me a little about yourself.
My name is Michele Hamilton, and I'm the principal at St. Philomene School. This is my second year being principal there. And I have two daughters that go there. I have a 7th grade daughter named Sienna, and I have a 5th grade daughter named Grace. And so it's been a really good opportunity. It's been nice to be able to, give back to the church, to give positively to the school, and also to just be in the field of education, and be able to see the kids strive and, improve themselves and really live their faith and really excel academically.
What's your background? Give me a little on your background.
My background is I taught high school English. I was an assistant principal in high school. I did some Title I reading specialists. I did independent study. I worked at UC Davis in their School of Education, their CREST Center. And it's the outreach, so doing some professional development and evaluation. And then I also have my doctorate in educational leadership and administration.
Yesterday we had a parish council meeting.
Yes.
And what's really impressed me when you gave a report, you said each of the students gets a laptop.
Yes.
I'm going, whoa, maybe I should go back to school. How does that work?
Well, what we did is every student in grades 3 through 8 has a Chromebook laptop. And a Chromebook, it's a laptop, but the Chromebook is a little different because as in a traditional laptop, the programs are actually on the laptop, but the programs are in the cloud, so it's all cloud-based. So basically the students are just using the laptops as a way to access the internet, to have access to their presentations, their documents, and to surf the web. So they're going on virtual field trips, they're collaborating on projects, they're doing PowerPoints where you have one student who's working on one slide and you have another student that's working on another slide. And then they're also doing some documents together. So they're creating documents together, but they're doing it in a very collaborative way.
God, when I went to school, they gave me a pencil and said, here. How do you control what they use the laptop for?
Well, what we have is all the students had to sign a technology use agreement that basically just laid out, what our expectations were. And that the understanding is that the Chromebooks are used for educational purposes only. So they're not to listen to music, they're not to listen to games. And the way that we control that is we have a content filter, and then we also have a domain. Oh, okay. So the domain really, because it's cloud-based, the beauty of it being cloud-based is we have a lot of control over it.
Now, what do you mean cloud-based for?
Meaning we're like it's a domain, and basically when you log into our site, you're then in a cloud.
Oh, okay.
It's the best way. It's in a cloud. Nothing is on the hard drive, so it's like having our own spot in the internet. Yeah. And so by doing that, then the content filter is in the cloud as well, and so then we're able to, monitor and see where the kids are going and what type of sites they're visiting, and so it gives us a lot more control, and then we're able to have more access, and because go ahead.
Do you see an improvement on our students using the laptop?
What we've seen is a greater enthusiasm in the students' learning. So teachers are using, so what they would normally do their vocabulary or spelling, where they would normally say, okay, they would review the words and then have the kids do it on paper and pen. Now they're having them do it on the laptop, and then actually being able to share that information. Or a teacher may give a lesson and then say, I want to check and see if you know it by going on and logging on your answers. So it's really helped kids use the technology that they have every day for games and for TVs to really use it to further their education.
How many students do you have at your school?
Right now, currently, we have 100 students. So we are a very small, tight-knit community, yes.
What do you see a difference between public school and private schools? Is there a major difference?
I think the major difference for us, because I know that there are some very good public schools out there, I think the major difference for our school is that we have the gospel values and the teachings of Christ as our foundation. So we always have that to, help guide the students. So we're not only helping the students develop academically, but we're really helping to develop them socially, emotionally, and really working on their spiritual growth with the Lord and how we then lead them. So the interesting part about it is with technology, we want them to be, competent users, but then we also want them to be spiritually grounded users.
Now, are your teachers lay persons or?
Yes, the teachers are lay.
No nuns.
No nuns.
No rulers.
No rulers. No.
I never went to Catholic school, but my brother did, and he told me some stories.
Yeah, I've heard stories too.
But do you expect an increase in students? Or?
Yes, as we make it known because we are one of the few schools. I mean, there are other schools within the diocese that do have computers and computer labs, but we're one of the only schools that have one-to-one for grades 3 through 8. So every student is assigned a laptop, so you don't have to worry about going to the lab because it's in the classroom. So as we are able to market and get more of the information out, and people and parents and people see, the beauty of it, and that, it really is nothing to be afraid of. It really is basically using what the kids are familiar with, but then using that to help further their education, because everything is basically technologically, geared. So we might as well speak to the kids in their language and really.
That's true.
Yeah.
What is a typical day for you?
Oh my gosh. Well, a typical day would include, in the morning, greeting the students, talking to the parents. It would include visiting classrooms, having some conversations with advertising, because a part of the private school is, we do have to market, we do have to advertise because we have tuition. It's developing programs and trying to think, strategically, like what can we do to further meet the academic needs of our kids. It means reaching out to some of the high schools and having them, have some of their high school kids come over and do homework help. It means, having a relationship with the parish, with the priest, having a relationship with the parishioners. So, and then having a relationship with the kids as well. So, and my own kids as well. So.
I can't wait to tell Father that she did a great job.
So it could look differently every day, and some days are crisis days. So.
Now, I remember on early days of application, the kids come to Mass too. And it was interesting watching the teachers. Some of the kids were a little, but they kept them under control.
Right.
Do you think it's harder teaching in a private school or a public school?
I think it's just a matter of preference. I think what makes it a little bit more difficult in a public school is that you're not able to have those open conversations about religion.
Yes.
And so where a lot of things must be monitored and filtered and kind of, you don't really get that much freedom in terms of what you're able to say and not say. With the Catholic Church, we do have beliefs, and we do have things that we adhere to, and those things can be discussed openly in the classroom in a way that probably you would not be able to have those conversations with the students in the public school.
I think a lot of people misunderstood the first, separation of church and state.
Mm-hmm.
That does not mean that you ignore the church side. It's just that every religion has opportunity to practice.
Correct.
The state can't say, okay, tomorrow we're all going to be Protestant, and that's the only thing.
Exactly.
But a lot of people use that as saying, I don't want my kids to hear religion stuff. Well, you let them watch the rest of that stuff.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
You might want to let them hear some religious stuff compared to some of the things that they hear, when they're at home, when they're on TV. And we do have parents and families that are of different faith, and they just agree that they know that they do, and we know that they know that we're going to be talking about Jesus Christ and the Bible, but they don't necessarily have to go through the sacraments, but they have agreed that they will.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. So we're definitely, it's not just because we have that label of a Catholic school and that's our faith, we still are open to other religions that want to come and learn and be a part of our community.
That would kind of say that your school has something special if non-Catholics are coming to.
Right. And then we also have a family that was, they weren't Catholic, they came to the school, and now they're going through the process to become Catholic.
RCIA?
Yeah, they're going through the RCIA program, and the kids have had their sacrament of Holy Communion, and the oldest son has been confirmed, and the parents are going through the process of being a Catholic. So it's all about sharing in community and being a family and really living out what it means to take care of each other in a positive way. Mm-hmm.
Now, how long have you been married?
Oh. I've been married for 14 years. This is our 14th year.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, and we were married in the Catholic Church, so it's been a blessing. So
and what does your husband do?
He works for the Diocese of Sacramento.
Oh.
So he works in the financial services department.
The one on Broadway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a nice, that's for, when I went for training for the parish council, it was down there.
Correct.
It's a nice location.
It is.
I
It's
like
very
it.
centrally located. Yeah.
So St. Philomene's.
Yes.
I came from New York. I transferred in 1981 from New York Telephone to Pac Bell. At that time it was Pacific Telephone. And they put me up at the Coral Reef, which is not there anymore. And I asked the guy at the desk, where's the nearest Catholic church? And he says, oh, St. Philomene's right down the block. So I've been going there since '81. And now, every Sunday, I open the church. Because Father, I don't think, is a really moaning person sometimes. And a couple of winter's days, we're standing down there pounding on the door for the 7:30 Mass, and he forgot. So now I get there around 6 o'clock, and I open the church, and I set up for the 7:30 Mass and the 9. But it really feels like family. There's really nice people. And I really believe if you eliminate, my own personal view, if you eliminate religion, you're going to lose something. You're going to lose the ethics, and you're going to lose that feeling of helping people.
Right. And you lose that feeling of being obligated, like, to another person, and that, knowing that it's not just me and my actions, but my actions have a broader impact on the greater community. So I think that's the beauty that the community brings to, the school and to the parish.
I asked your daughters, how is it going to school when your mom is the principal? And you said, they better not show up in my office.
Right, exactly.
Poor kids. But that's really great. And hopefully we will increase the student body. How many of your students go on to college from there?
Well, they go to high school because we are
Yeah.
at K-8.
Okay.
Okay, so they go from here, from our school to the Catholic high school.
Where is the Catholic?
They either go to St. Francis, which is an all-girls school. They go to Jesuit, which is an all-boys school, or Christian Brothers, which is a co-ed Catholic school. And then some have also gone on to the IB program. So they go on to do very well in high school. And one of the things that the high school students say is that when they get to their high school, because, you know, our alumni, they say, you know, St. Philomene really prepared us, that they felt like they, you know, were definitely prepared spiritually and emotionally and socially to really deal with the challenges of high school.
What really impressed me is the uniforms. I worked 7 years as an activity director, and Laguna High School was having a job fair. So I had a table there. I went out there. I swear, I thought those kids were going to the beach. You know, it's unbelievable. And they have their own private parking lot. And they got Mercedes, but the girls are coming in little shorts and little halter top. And the guy, it just, how can they allow them? There has to be some clothing and wardrobe control.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought they were going to the beach.
Right. Yeah. Well, you definitely know when you step on campus, you definitely know it's a Catholic school.
Yes.
And one of our alumni said, you know, when they got to college, they were like, "Oh my gosh, I have to figure out what to wear," because they were so accustomed to wearing their uniform in elementary and high school. And so we do have a good success rate in terms of those students also going to college after.
Does the diocese have a TV station? I know they have a radio station. Do they have a TV station?
You know, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not for sure if they do or not.
Because it would be something to get your students involved in.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It opens doors too. Yeah, I need to look into that.
Yeah, I know they have a radio station. Yeah,
KFIA.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. That'll be something I'll have to research. That's a little bit of homework you've given me.
Yeah. And I know they give tours here. So be more than happy if. Do you take field trips?
We do. We take field trips, and we have very good field trips for the younger kids, especially like in 4th grade.
Right.
They do a lot of the California history. Field trips focus on California history, and then the junior high usually do their science trips. So they'll go to Yosemite, they'll go to the Marin Headlands, and then they'll go to Westminster. So it's just a way to get them, you know, out into the wilderness, out to really, you know, put in practice what they're learning in the classroom in terms of science.
As we come to the end of the show, what would you tell parents out there in terms of